The first time my sister laughed at my scars in public. I felt something inside me shatter forever. It happened on a bright summer afternoon at a crowded beach in Florida. The sky was clear, children were running across the sand, and music drifted from nearby cafes. Everything looked beautiful on the outside. But inside me, I was falling apart. My name is Elena. I'm 32 years old, and for most of my life, people noticed two things about me: my silence and the scars running across my shoulders and back. I learned very early how to hide them. Long sleeves in summer, high collars, careful angles in photographs. I became an expert at pretending I wasn't ashamed. But deep down, every mirror reminded me of the fire that changed my life when I was 19. That fire took more than my skin. It took my confidence. And somehow, my sister Vanessa always knew exactly where to hurt me the most. Vanessa was beautiful in the kind of way magazines loved. Perfect smile, perfect hair. The type of woman who entered a room and immediately became the center of attention. Growing up, she made sure I stayed in her shadow. At family dinners, she mocked my quiet nature. At school, she joked about my scars to her friends when she thought I couldn't hear. Even after all these years, she still treated me like the broken sister nobody should notice. But what hurt the most was that our parents allowed it. Vanessa is just joking, they would say. Joking. That word followed me my entire life like a curse. That afternoon at the beach, Vanessa invited the entire family for her engagement celebration. Her wealthy fiancé rented a private section near the ocean, filled with white tables, flowers, expensive drinks, and guests dressed like they belonged in luxury magazines. And then there was me. I almost didn't go, but my mother begged me. She said family mattered more than old pain. So I wore the lightest dress I owned and tried to ignore the fear crawling under my skin. At first, everything seemed fine, until Vanessa saw the edge of my scars near my shoulder. Her smile changed instantly. Oh my God, she laughed loudly, grabbing attention from everyone nearby. Elena actually came wearing that dress? A few guests turned toward me. I froze. Vanessa walked closer and pulled lightly at my sleeve. Careful, she whispered cruelly. You don't want people seeing what's underneath. Then she laughed again. And some people laughed with her. I wanted the sand beneath me to open and swallow me whole. But what I didn't know that day was that someone important had been quietly watching everything from a distance. And within the next few minutes, my sister's perfect world would begin to collapse. I tried to leave quietly. That was always my survival method: disappear before the humiliation became worse. But Vanessa wasn't finished. As I reached for my bag, she raised her glass and called out dramatically, "Wait. Before Elena runs away again, maybe she should finally tell everyone how she got those scars." The beach suddenly felt silent. Every eye landed on me. My chest tightened so badly I could barely breathe. Vanessa tilted her head innocently, pretending concern. Unless the story is too embarrassing? I looked toward my parents. Neither of them defended me. That hurt more than Vanessa's words ever could. Because deep down, I realized something painful in that moment. My family had spent years protecting Vanessa's cruelty instead of protecting me. And suddenly, I felt tired. Tired of hiding. Tired of carrying shame that never belonged to me. But before I could speak, a deep, calm voice interrupted from behind us. "I think the only embarrassing thing here," the man said carefully, "is the way this young woman is being treated." Everyone turned. An older man in a navy suit stepped forward from another section of the beach restaurant. His posture was straight, confident, powerful. Silver hair framed a face marked by years of discipline and leadership. And the moment I saw him, my heart stopped. Admiral Raymond Carter. The same man I hadn't seen in over 10 years. Vanessa blinked awkwardly. "Excuse me, this is a private event." The Admiral ignored her completely. Instead, he looked directly at me with eyes full of respect. "Miss Elena," he said softly, "I was hoping someday I could thank you properly." The entire table went quiet. Vanessa laughed nervously. "You know her?" The Admiral's expression darkened slightly. "Know her?" he repeated. "Your sister saved 36 sailors during a naval disaster." The air disappeared from the room. I felt every memory rush back at once. The fire, the screaming, The smoke. 10 years earlier, I had been working as a civilian engineer on a naval support vessel during an emergency operation. An explosion trapped several crew members below deck while flames spread through the corridors. Everyone else was evacuating, but I went back inside. Again and again. I still remembered the heat burning through my skin as I dragged unconscious sailors towards safety. By the time rescue teams arrived, most of my body had already been badly injured. I spent months in hospitals afterward, and when the media tried calling me a hero, I disappeared. I never wanted attention, especially not after Vanessa started calling my scars ugly reminders. The Admiral looked around the stunned crowd. "She nearly died saving my men," he said firmly. "Those scars represent courage most people will never understand." Vanessa's face turned pale. Her fiancé looked horrified. Several guests who laughed earlier suddenly avoided eye contact. But the Admiral wasn't done. "You should be proud to stand beside her," he continued coldly. "Instead, you humiliate her publicly." For the first time in years, I saw fear in Vanessa's eyes. Real fear. Because the attention she loved so much had finally turned against her. And honestly, she deserved every second of it. Vanessa tried to recover quickly. That's not the full story," she stammered. "Elena never told anyone any of this." I finally found my voice. "Because I never needed applause," I said quietly. The Admiral nodded beside me. But then I looked directly at my sister. "And because every time I tried to heal, you reminded me to feel ashamed instead." The silence between us became unbearable. For years, I imagined confronting Vanessa dramatically. I imagined revenge, screaming, exposing every cruel thing she ever did to me. But standing there that day, I realized something. People like Vanessa survive by making others feel small. And the strongest revenge isn't destruction. It's refusing to stay broken. Her fiancé slowly stepped away from her. "You told me your sister was unstable," he said carefully. "You never told me she was a hero." Vanessa's face collapsed completely. "It was just jokes," she whispered desperately. But nobody laughed this time. Not a single person. The guests who once admired her now looked uncomfortable, disappointed, even disgusted. And for the first time in her life, Vanessa stood alone. My mother suddenly approached me with tears in her eyes. "Elena," she whispered, "we didn't know." But I shook my head gently. "Yes, you did," I answered. That truth hurt everyone more than shouting ever could. Because deep down, they all knew it was true. They saw my pain for years. They just chose silence because confronting Vanessa was easier than protecting me. The Admiral later invited me to speak at a naval charity event honoring survivors and rescue workers. At first, I refused. But then something changed inside me. For so many years, I treated my scars like punishment. That day at the beach made me realize they were proof that I survived. Proof that even after pain, betrayal, and humiliation, I was still standing. Months later, I stood on a stage wearing a dress that revealed every scar I once hid from the world. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel ashamed. I felt free. As for Vanessa, her engagement quietly ended not long after the beach incident. People began seeing the version of her I had known my entire life. Cold, cruel, empty behind the perfect smile. We barely speak now. And honestly, I no longer need her apology. Because healing truly began the moment I stopped asking cruel people to understand my worth. Sometimes the world will try to convince you that your wounds make you weak. But the truth is, the people who survive pain with kindness still in their hearts are often the strongest people of all. And every scar carries a story, not of destruction, but of survival.